right, so welcome back to part 2. In part 1, we went over how to solve if we're doing one-step addition or one-step subtraction. These next 4 examples are going to be on multiplication and division. So first thing, I want you guys to take a look at how multiplication looks when we're doing equations with variables. So when we have a number right next to a letter, just like in 5 and 6, so I have 4x, negative 2h. That means multiplying. That means I have 4 x's. This means I have negative 2 h's. Okay, so that's telling you that it's multiplying. So for these ones, I need to do whatever the opposite of multiplication is, which is division. So here, my variable is x, and what's being done to it is 4 is being multiplied by it. So I need to do the opposite of multiplying by 4, so I'm going to divide by 4. I'm going to do that on both sides of the equal sign. So I'm going to push this to the side, and you'll see divide by 4, bring that x down. The reason that this cancels it out is because 4 divided by 4 equals 1, and 1 times x is just x. So it's like it disappears. So it's like it's canceling out just like up here. Okay, so x comes down, we have 28 divided by 4. So we should be getting x equaling whatever this equals, which is 7. Okay, then we're going to check it just like we did up here. So instead of writing 4x, I'm going to write 4, and remember this is 4 times x, so I'm going to do 4 times 7. 4 times 7 does equal 28, so I'm good. Number 6, negative 2 times h equals 14. So remember, this is times h, so I need to do the opposite, which is going to be division. So I'm going to divide by negative 2 on both sides. So I have divided by negative 2, and over here divided by negative 2. So I'm bringing the h down. H equals whatever 14 divided by negative 2 is. So I forgot to tell you, go ahead, pause, try it out yourself, and then press play, and I'll finish it up. Okay, so it should be h equaling whatever 14 divided by negative 2 is, and that should be negative 7. So remember, a negative times a negative equals a positive. So if I want, and division is just the opposite of multiplication. So if I have a negative 2 here, I want to know what multiplies by negative 2 to give me a positive 14. So that has to be a negative 7. So you got to remember for these are integer rules. Okay, then I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to plug negative 7 in for h. So it's going to be negative 2 times negative 7 equals 14. And let's see if that's true. Negative 2 times negative 7 equals 14. Negative times a negative equals positive. It's true. If I just had 7 here, I would have been getting negative 2 times 7 equals 14, and that's not true. A negative times a positive equals a negative, so we have to be really careful about our positives and negatives. Okay, number 7. Now we're on to our division problems. When you see one-step equations, the division ones are going to be written as fractions. You're not going to see it with a division sign. You're going to see it as a fraction. But if it's as a fraction, that's just a division problem. And we have to do whatever the opposite of division is, which is multiplication. So right here, I have x divided by 8. You see how I read that? X divided by 8. So I want to do the opposite of dividing by 8, which is multiplying by 8. I'm going to do that on this side and this side of the equal sign. So I drew my line down the middle, times 8 times 8. These cancel each other out, so I'm left with just x equaling 4 times 8, which is 32. And then I'm going to plug it in. So I'm going to have 32 divided by 8 equals 4, which that is true. So that one's right. X does equal 32. Now, number 8, we have f divided by negative 5 equals negative 10. So we got some negatives there. So go ahead, pause, give it a try, pay special attention to those negatives. All right, so I'm doing f divided by negative 5. I want to undo that, so I'm going to multiply by negative 5 on both sides. So there we go. And now this kind of looks like x minus 5, but it's multiply, it's times negative 5 times negative 5. That's what's happening. So that's going to cancel out. I'll have just my f on this side, and then I want negative 10 times negative 5. So I have a negative times a negative. So can you guys remember what that is? Should be a positive 50. Okay, then I check. 50 divided by negative 5, a positive 50 divided by negative 5 is going to equal a negative 10. And that's it.